Welcome back to Enter the Kitchen. Now we are in my kitchen on my terrace over here, and the dish that I have coming up for you now is a reinvention of one of my favorite Italian dishes. Now this is a classic. It's the classic bruschetta, but I have added a little bit of a twist, and I guarantee you this recipe also is super simple and you can have ready in just about 10 minutes. So here's how it's done. So now bruschetta is, again, a classic Italian recipe, which consists of toasted bread with garlic and seasoned with salt and pepper. So what we're actually going to be doing today is making a little bruschetta. Now this, traditionally the bread would be toasted over live coals. This is in Italy. Of course, we're not in Italy. So we're going to toast our bread the classic way. So now what we have for the topping, for ingredients, is we have our tomato, we have our garlic, we have our basil. This is a very common bruschetta topping. I am also adding some yellow pepper over here for a little crunch. We've got the olive oil, of course, which is always a very welcome addition. And we've got a red onion. So we're going to start by sending our little pieces of toast away to get toasted. So now we're going to send our pieces of baguette over here to go get toasted. In the meantime, I'm going to chop up some garlic. Okay, invisible assistant, toast my toast. Thank you. Okay, so our bread is back, freshly toasted. Now what I'm doing here is just slicing some raw garlic into thin sorts of slices. And what you need to do is very simply just rub it onto your toast, like so. So essentially what you're doing is you're just rubbing raw garlic onto your toast, infusing it with flavor, beautiful garlicky sort of flavor. So essentially what you're doing is you're sort of just rubbing raw garlic onto your toasted bread, infusing it with a lovely, rich, aromatic garlicky flavor, like so. Got our toast all rubbed down. We're gonna drizzle just a hint of olive oil onto our bread, like so. And now onto the topping. Now we're gonna be using some fresh tomatoes over here. Just wanna cut them up into little bitty baby cubes. Now with bruschetta, as with many Italian dishes, the key secret, if you will, is ensuring that your ingredients are absolutely fresh. Now this is what makes for a wonderful bruschetta, is when your tomatoes are fresh and lush, your basil is aromatic and maybe a little less wilted than the basil I got over here. I looked and I looked and I looked, but I couldn't find fresh basil. And of course that you have good olive oil. That is also very important. Okay, so now we've got our tomatoes. I have minced up our garlic into tiny little pieces. Add that to our freshly chopped tomatoes. Now we want a handful of basil. Let's look for the nicest looking leaves here. I think the ideal situation to get around the sort of scarcity of fresh herbs, sometimes it's very tough in Chennai to find fresh basil, fresh thyme, fresh rosemary. What you can do is, of course, grow your own herbs, and then you have an infinite supply of fresh herbs at your disposal. Now with the basil, you just want to crush it. You don't have to chop it too fine. Crushing the basil will actually just unleash the aromas within. Doesn't that look beautiful? Just like that. And now, of course, a little bit of onion, just a hint, not too much. This is going to make me cry, I'm sure of that. Let's peel it first. chop our onion up. And finally, now this is where I'm adding a little bit of a variation. I'm going to be adding a hint of yellow pepper to our topping for a little bit of added crunch, a little bit of added texture. Oh yeah, it's got a nice fresh lushness to it. Slice that up over there. Throw in a dash of yellow pepper. So now to our beautifully colorful bowl, I'm going to add just a dash of olive oil, like so. And we're going to mix it up. Just really infuse all of the vegetables with the garlicky basil sort of flavor. Okay, so now, final step. I'm going to top off our pieces of bread. Wonderful. And there we have bruschetta with a little yellow twist, a little crunch of yellow pepper. Now this again is a fantastic antipasto. You can have it with a glass of wine or just on its own. Well guys, I have one more little dish that I would love for you to try, but that is coming up right after the break, so you're gonna have to wait just a few minutes. I'll see you in a sec.